Hello, watchers. Uh, now, there's been an announcement that concerning the DWP, the Department of Wankers and Pervert, whatever. They say that carers allowance has been increased by 6.7%. Uh, This sounds rather good, doesn't it? Well, except it isn't. Actually, raising carers allowance by 6.7%. You see, I mean, as nobody is going to receive it because the DWP want to kill all the disabled people, and carers are considered an enemy because they keep disabled people alive, it's meaningless. So, this increase of 6.7% in carers allowance, well, it sounds good, doesn't it? But it's a fallacy, right? I mean, those who are not in the know don't realise that this is just hot air. It's just a fallacy. It's just not right. Uh, there's also some errors on the government's website.
How it works. You could get $81.90 a week if you care for someone at least 35 hours a week and they get certain benefits. You do not have to be related to or live with the person you care for. You do not get paid extra if you care for more than one person. If someone else also cares for the same person as you, only one of you can claim the carer's allowance.
So, if you've got the money to be able to pay a private care company to help you look after your uh, relative or whatever as a carer, then you're not going to be entitled to a carer's allowance. So, and as most people can't afford a carer, it's up to them. But anyway, we need to. Anyway, so it's certain benefits, is it? Okay, let's have a look at the benefits, shall we?
You may be eligible for care allowance if you, the person you care for, and the type of care you provide meets certain criteria. The person you claim must already get one of these benefits: personal independent payment, daily living component. Then a list of legacy benefits that nobody gets
Anymore, legacy benefits are all being phased out, so they must be in receipt of PIP, apparently. Except if the person who's being cared for is in receipt of PIP, the carer still isn't entitled to a carer's allowance. So who the hell is? So, as all the other benefits listed, basically legacy benefits which are phased out or being phased out, um, nobody is actually entitled to this carer's allowance that has been risen by 6.7%. So the question is the government giving them the money to pay this carer's allowance that nobody is entitled to? And if so, what are the DWP spending this money on? This is an interesting question, don't you think? Well, maybe they would use the money to cover up their murders of disabled people. We had the story recently of them forking out 50 grand to cover up one of their murders. More than 50,000 of taxpayers' money was spent on lawyers to try to prevent the release of a safeguarding review ordered after a disabled man starved to death in his own home. They wouldn't give a disabled bloke any money because they hate the disabled and want them all dead. Um, and then they spent 50 grand trying to stop the release of the safeguarding review. I guess a lot of the review involved how to keep covering this up and not get caught, and keeping the public ignorant of what the bastards are actually doing.
The figures were revealed after requests by the Democracy for Sale newsletter, which sought details of spending under the last government in attempts to prevent the release of information.
I think it is becoming known that the psychopaths at the DWP like withholding information and claiming that the Freedom of Information Act does not. I've sent in a couple of Freedom of Information requests to the filthy organisation that is there, that is plotting to kill the disabled and the vulnerable. And, well,
Dear Department of Work and Pensions, what percentage of the homeless figure for the country is caused by the savageness of the DWP? And are you proud of your record of misery?
request denied. But then I sent in another Freedom of Information request, and the reply was, well,
Dear Department of Work and Pensions, please tell me how much the DWP spends on training work coaches, PIP assessors, and others in psychological warfare to be used against DWP clients.
interestingly, I actually got a response to this one.
Following a search of our paper and electronic records, we have established that the information requested is not held by this department. The department does not engage with any types of warfare with our clients.
They're well known for it.
If you have any queries about this letter, please contact us quoting the reference number above. Yours sincerely, DWP Freedom of
Put in another Freedom of Information request, which would state that basically, as they're going to refuse carers allowance to people because they want all the disabled people dead. So basically, if carers can't afford to look after people, then basically the carers are going to have to not look after them. So they're more likely to end up dead. So I'm going to have to ask them. I mean, as they're not giving it to anybody, are they going to actually use it to cover up more of their murders? This is the thing. Who obviously it's not going to be a straight reply or anything. I mean, such is the dark, sordid world of the DWP, evil organisation that needs to be, well, I think some of the people running it should be in Broadmoor or somewhere. In fact, I think it's probably where they get their staff from. But that's the DWP at the moment. This rise in carers allowance, nobody's getting it, so who cares? Yeah, smoke and mirrors, while the DWP get on with killing people. Anyway, shalom, salam, pax Christi, Irenita Christi.